Demons, angels, ghosts, spirits. We all heard about them. We all know the stories. But the question is, do we really know if they exist? We've all said we've had our paranormal experiences, or it's just a friend pranking on us. I've had quite a few in my life of paranormal experiences because I barely have friends. So obviously, hello everybody, Dragon Stitch here. I'm in a new setup, but however, this is for our DJ Paranormal Investigation channel, where we will be talking about all of anything paranormal. And our first investigation is officially gonna premiere March 30th at the Congress Hotel, oldest hotel in Tucson, Arizona. And we will be checking out all the ghosts and spirits, demons, angels, etc. that could possibly be lurking around, such as the Lady in White, the Locksmith, etc., and many more. I've heard stories, and of course, we know all about the history with John Dillinger and the bank robbery around that era. So of course, we're gonna have to inquire some of that in our investigation. And well, without further ado, here's a brief history of the paranormal experiences and history of Congress Hotel. Room 242, The Woman in the White Dress. For those who like their stories a little darker, Room 242 is for you. The story goes that a young woman was on an extended stay at the hotel. She was going through a rough time in her life and was very troubled. She began talking about wanting to make the voices in her mind stop. Staff and other guests became increasingly disturbed and eventually tried calling the police to try to intervene and try to secure her. But it was too late. Sadly, the woman took her own life, but her spirit is rumored to have never left room 242. Guests have reported a tangible heaviness while in the room. Some people say that a woman in a long white dress was sitting on the edge of the bed, watching them sleep. Still others report feeling someone laying in bed right beside them. Perhaps she is just lonely and glad for the company, being able to finally socialize. Or perhaps she feels the need to impart and share the darkness that clouded her life with whomever comes near. We may never know the real story, but this is the woman in the white dress. Room 220, The Tricky Veteran. A World War II veteran arrived at the Hotel Congress in 1965 and never left. He was a very disciplined man who followed the same routine every day. He would wake up, go downstairs to get a cup of coffee with a small plate, a butter knife, and a bagel. He'd then return upstairs to eat. When finished, he would always leave the dirty cup and plate outside his room for the cleaning service, but never returned the butter knife. The self-styled handyman would often not only use these knives with his breakfast, but he also used them to fix various things around the hotel. He was a collector and a bit of a trickster, it seems. After his passing in 2001, housekeepers and guests started finding restaurant butter knives outside the room and in random places throughout the property. He also apparently enjoys locking and unlocking the door, as well as moving guests' items around. Maybe you can make friends with our friendly ghost. This is The Tricky Veteran. Room 214, The Victorian Gentleman. This room seems to be the favorite of a stately man from a time gone by. Dressed in his seersucker suit, he is believed to wander the halls of the hotel, perhaps on an after-dinner stroll. Sometimes he is even seen in a dapper top hat. Many guests have claims
have claimed to see him standing in the window and watching the people mingle in the plaza below, only to find out the room was empty for that night. He seems friendly enough. Maybe you can be his friend next. He is the Victorian gentleman. Room 212, The Locksmith Apprentice. A night in room 212 will likely start out like any other normal night in, but as the evening wears on, you may experience some supernatural mischief. Guests have consistently reported locking the door and turning in for the night only to find the door open again. This lockpicking can go on and on, until one guest said they simply decided to leave the door open instead of continuing the game. Of course, that only works until the door starts to mysteriously close as well. Even our staff have been surprised and claim they have seen and heard this phenomenon. It appears as though someone is well on their way to becoming a master locksmith. So remember, always lock your doors. This is The Locksmith Apprentice.